And welcome back to the 2020 St. John's tournament. This is the third quarterfinal of the day. Very well prepared, and I like his number 8 player. And as St. David's wins the jump ball, shot, beautiful end one by St. David's number 15.
You can see already not St. David. St. David's is going inside. He's trying to assert himself inside and say, hey, listen, we're not here to play. We're going to get an end one, and you guys are going to deal with our powerhouse down low.
Yeah, so Kimani, number 15, misses the free throw, and Jeppy Boys gets that rebound, and unfortunately, they were careless with the ball, and they turn it over. St. David's needs to do a better job. My apologies. The JP Boys needs to actually do a better job of keeping that ball. Kimani attacks the basket once again. So Kimani looks like he's going to be the danger man there for St. David's as he gets another basket there, with St. David's leading the score 4-0. JP Boys showing some patience on the offensive side, trying to find their big man inside. He goes up, and unfortunately he cannot make that particular basket. St. David's on a fast break. And another basket converted by St. David's number 9 there.
Perenyetwa seems to be just setting the tone for this team. Like, he's like, listen, no, that's Pangela. Pangela is just setting the tone for St. David's.
And unfortunately, once again, JP Boys turns over the ball. And we then have. Okay, so it's St. David's ball. St. David's looks like they are looking at running this ball. It's their intention that they will run this team, the JP Boys team, to the ground, while JP is taking a little bit longer to get into this game. And unfortunately, St. David's is all over them, with JP Boys turning over the ball once again. Kimani trying to find a basket, unfortunately gets blocked by number 6 from JP Boys.
Come on, you don't need that kind of play from St. David's. You've set the tone. You don't need silly fouls. They're playing a man-to-man defense. You can see every guy is locked in. Jeppy with the ball, swings to left, 3-point. No one from Jeppy is being aggressive. They're just running the play right now with no intentions of scoring. No one's looking at the rim. Great shot. Rebound. Oh, foul by Jeppy. Foul on St. David's.
Okay, so that was Buyinski got from JP Boys getting fouled by the St. David's player.
Came out the gate slow.
I am very shocked that an Andile team would come out of the game slow, but I would never actually write them off. I think the boys are just nervous because of the stage of the tournament.
You're right, it's anxiety, quarterfinals, you need to be anxious, come in ready to play. And the longer it takes you to wake up, the more far behind you become points-wise. And as you can see right now, St. David's 6, Jeppe 0.
And St. David's is just not giving them that opportunity. So let's see what changes Coach Kloppe has put in place. And unfortunately, Buyinski misses another bucket. And St. David's goes on the run and gun.
Pangela with the shot. I mean, look at that right there. That play right there just lets you know that Jeppe is not all locked in. I mean, that's a simple play. Every possession counts. You haven't scored yet. Ooh, great shot by St. David's right there. They're in rhythm. That's a 3-pointer. They're in rhythm. They're feeling themselves. And they slowly, with every possession, getting more confident. 6.
And St. David's, JP continues to go inside. And finally, they managed to get themselves to the free throw line. And we have Kalama going to the free throw line.
Kalama, I like him. He asserts himself on the post. He's ready. He's sturdy. His teammates find him. And I'd say St. David's needs to be very careful because this is the second time Jeppe goes to the free throw line. And if they're able to convert, that is how they would actually sneak into this game. But they need to be careful that if they continue to foul and be that aggressive, they won't have their bigs down low to protect them.
Yeah. Jeppe finally getting on the scoreboard through that free throw by Kalama.
St. David's moving the ball around. Kimani with the ball, the shot. Kelly with a shot, converts. I mean, they're just ever present in the paint. They're asserting themselves onto Jeppe, you know, and that's just how you want to see it come out in the first quarter. Very strong.
Oh, and then there we have Buyinski.
Buyinski with the ball again, trying to assert himself on the post. He needs to start converting those because his teammates are finding him.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he's had some.
Beautiful
play by that now, by
Fihla. He's just the man to find himself. He's made a three, now he's just in rhythm.
And you see him flexing there.
Yeah, now we have Rocha with the ball with Polinsky. That's what he needs to do. They find him. That is 1 out of 3 possessions that he scored in the paint. His team needs him to show up a little bit more. St. David's not even wasting time, going down the floor, attacking the rim hard.
So Jeppe is going to continue going to Buyinski because he should actually be making most of the buckets for St. David's. For Jeppe. Up until the point that Coach Elvis on the St. David's side makes some adjustments to stop him. He should be converting on every single possession that he gets.
We have a 10-point game. Jeppe 3, St. David's 13. We're still in the first quarter with 2 minutes to go.
Back to Buyinski again, attacking the bucket. Oh, dropping it down for Kalama. Very nice bucket. Very nice.
And that's how you find your rhythm. They've gone to them twice. They're finding their rhythm. And if I'm St. David's, like I said, Coach Elvis is calling a timeout. Why? Because they're slowly getting that halfway and says, hey, this is how you guys are playing. We're going to meet you. That's where we go. That's a three-pointer. And by Fihla, and he's just feeling himself. He's in stride. He's setting the tone for his team. And then we have number 6. Not Fihla. That's number 14, Kelly. He's just that strong force, letting everyone know. Then Fihla again with the drive.
Strong man drive.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, flexing after that drive.
Flexing, letting them know, hey, we're confident, we're getting there. And that's the kind of confidence your team needs. That's the flex you need. Then we have that great pass to a teammate there without people double teaming you. And he's just going in.
And that is.
If I'm Jeppe, I would then just start to press. So Jeppe's like 29%, and then St. David's is 60% right now. You know, they're shooting very well for a team to be in charge, and that's how you need to capitalize on every shot taken. Yeah, you know, at a 60%.
Yeah, so St. David's has been very, very efficient so far in this game. 60% is very high, especially for a high school game. And that is how they have 60% efficiencies, because they keep going down to their big man, Kimani, and Kimani has done well down low. Either he converts or he gets himself fouled. And this time he's managed to go to the free throw line. So let's watch his conversion at the free throw line. And unfortunately, he misses the first free throw. Hopefully that's kind of given him some level of rhythm for the second free throw. And there we go. So he's converted 1 of 2 from the free throw line.
No.
Jeppe boys aggressively attacking. And they get rewarded with a foul for.
And that is the fastest pace that Jeppe has come down the court. As
Exactly.
you can see, they're getting rhythm, they're getting urgency. As you can hear, Coach Andile, he's just yelling. He's in his guys' ear, and he's like, guys, come on, we need to get back into this game. We don't want to start the second quarter on the back foot.
Let's see if they can earn their points off the free throw line.
Nope.
Unfortunately.
I think both teams struggling from the free throw line. You know, I think every player, no one has made 2 in a row. Everyone's at 50% currently.
And we keep up that 50% trend as Iwa makes his second free throw. Oh, Fihla attempting to beat the shot clock. Just missed.
Some discomfort on the floor. As you can see, he gravitates towards that side because that's his hot side.
And even when he fakes to the right, he always wants to go back to his left side. So that's very sound strategy there coming from you, Tsakani.
I love Kelly right now. He's very aggressive, shoots the shot, and follows his shot. But what he must do is once the other team gets the ball, don't reach. You know, you've missed the shot, rush back on defense. If you reach, you're giving them a foul, and now you also got a chance of going to the bench.
Looks like St. David's is adopting a full court press there.
Yeah.
Generally, the full court press comes because they don't believe that JP has ball handlers. Oh, beautiful pass by number 13 from JP Mpempe to allow Kearney to hit a. In fact, my apologies, Kalama to hit the nice 2-point shot there.
So we have Fangela with the ball to Fihla, to his hotspot. His teammates are looking for him. Long rebound, long shot. JP with the ball, nice drive, aggressive, staying very aggressive. That is Rocha, very calm, very calculating, jumping between the guys, trying to slice between them and get the ball. But he got the foul there, and let's see. He should be able to convert because that will give his team a cut into the lead because this is what they need right now. They need to be able to cut into this lead from the free throw line if they can't score.
Rocha seems to have a nice stroke about him. He is 100% right now from the free throw. It was almost a commentator's curse there, but he remains at 100% as he's 2 for 2 at the free throw line. Rocha makes all of his free throws and helping JP claw back on the scoreboard. So as it stands right now, they're 5 points down, so not bad. They haven't played at their best so far, but they're not completely out of this game. St. David's bringing up the ball. Nkosi giving Kimani the ball. Kimani on the attack once again. Kimani is fouled, and he's going back to the free throw line. Kimani needs to convert his free throws. I think the last time he was at the free throw line, he was 1 for 2. So let's hope that he's able to convert both free throws. Unfortunately, Kimani unable to convert the first free throw.
St. David's has been on a scoring drought for I think the last 3 minutes because they've been on 18. And that breaks that drought, hopefully.
Yeah, once again, Kimani goes 1 for 2.
Yeah, you don't want a team to gain confidence while you're not scoring because that's a very bad sign.
Yeah. Oh, that is probably something. It's some sort of foul that happened there. Unfortunately,
I'll say it's a strong take. It was all fair play. Nothing was malicious. Nothing was done, and he should have made that basket.
He should have made that particular basket. Okay, we have St. David's on the offensive side trying to run a play there for their big men. Yeah. Able to get the ball inside to their big man there, Reed, and Reed is able to convert that 2-pointer. Rocha with the ball for JP Boys. Kalama with a strong
take.
And one.
See, I'm liking, JP needs to realize that when they get the ball and they score within the first 7 seconds of that transition, before St. David's defense is set, they have a pretty good chance of scoring because once the defense is set, they get good shots, but they're not converting.
Yeah.
So they need to start play that fast tempo basketball to allow them to actually get into this game because now it's a 6-point game. Get into this game and secure a lead because if they keep waiting for them to settle their defense, they find it harder to score.
Yeah, and that tandem between Kalama and Rocha has really worked for JP in this quarter.
Yes. And they cannot do that. You cannot have fouls like that because it stops the game, the time runs out. It's running time because we're playing 4 quarters of 8 minutes each and the time is running. And in the last quarter, if it stops in the last 2 minutes, it's only because the team is still within reach and it's not a 20-point lead.
JP is very, very careless with the ball. They had a beautiful steal, but unfortunately they were quite careless with the ball and have turned it over. St. David's unfortunately St. David's has also turned over the ball.
I mean, both teams are anxious, both teams are nervous. There's a lot on the line, but that means you still need to stay and execute because execution is what will get.
And as we look at the stats,
interesting to see, JP hasn't even attempted a 3-point shot, while St. David's has gone 1 for 4, and free throws 2 for 5. Most teams, like I said, they're all sitting around 50%-ish. Shot efficiency, JP Boys is at 33, St. David's at 44. Steals, St. David's 3, JP Boys 6. Total fouls, St. David's is fouling a little too much, 9-6. It's an aggressive game. You want to see that.
Yeah, and these stats are
Brought to you by iSports.
Yeah, brought to us by
iSports Analytics. Thank you for providing us with the stats, because that gives us, as Quinton would say, the actual factuals. It paints the picture with the numbers. Stats don't lie. It shows you where you can improve on the game, where you're slacking on the game, because it's been a fairly competitive game, and by competitive I mean both teams are losing focus. They're not consistent. They're letting up. They're letting each other into the game. No one is completely dominating the game. I would say that second quarter goes to JP Boys only because they showed us effort. They came up. They finally woke up. The first quarter belonged to St. David's. They were playing. They came out hard. They came out ready, but they lost the effort and momentum as the game goes. So the second half will be dictated to whichever team has the most effort. What strategies would you employ if you're Coach Kloppe?
If I'm looking at Coach Kloppe, so right now Coach Kloppe has found some rhythm between Rocha and Kalama, and there's some beautiful interplay that happens between those two players. I would bring back Pozinski, because I believe that Coach Kloppe pulled out Pozinski because he was just not converting. But he is probably going to be their biggest threat between him and Kalama. If they're able to then find a little bit of rhythm and nice interplay between those two players, I would continue to go inside, go back to the free throw line, and see if we can convert. If you look at JP Boys has done very well at the free throw line versus what St. David's has done, but St. David's has gone to the free throw lines a little bit more. And for me, if I'm Coach Kloppe, that's potentially what I would look at doing. On the defensive side, as Zakani, as you initially mentioned, they need to be able to take away Fibila's comfort zone. They need to be able to take that away from.
He became too complacent. They need to wake up and just remember, the winner here goes through to the semis. The loser goes home.
Yep. I mean, no one wants to be playing a consolation games in a tournament. As we start with the second half, with St. David's attacking the way that they started the game. And there we have Kelly putting back a bucket. Strong rebound and a bucket by Kelly there. And a poor shot by JP Boys. We have Kearney taking a very, very ill-advised shot. St. David's once again on the attack with Kimani on a beautiful take by Kimani. This is probably the first drive that we've seen from Kimani all the way from the perimeter.
That was slow and meticulous. And now we have Roch going in. And that's what I say. That's the first 7 seconds. When they go in the first 7 seconds, they either get a basket, a foul, or they get a very good high percentage shot. And if they don't do that, they then lose their shape. They lose their form, and coach has to work out instructions from the side in order for JP Boys to execute.
Yeah, and at the free throw line, we have Chimbalalanga. Okay, JP continues to convert their free throws, which is keeping them in this game. And unfortunately, the young man was unable to complete the second one.
And the good news, it's now a 9-point game for JP Boys. They've cut the lead. It used to be in double digits. Now it's a 9-point game. You chip away at it slowly. Defense needs to start your offense, and that's the theme that JP Boys needs to do. Get a stop, go on the other side, get a bucket. Get a stop, get a bucket. You see?
JP Boys unfortunately unable to convert on that side. Another fast break by the St. David's boys. St. David's is not allowing JP to settle on their defense. As soon as they grab the rebound, they're off to the races.
And that's how you keep JP on the back foot, Keep the pressure going.
And a walk.
Traveling call by the referee right there. Anxious feet. He had good intentions. Just very slow, bad execution right there, on that travel.
Unfortunately, Mwenge couldn't set his feet. Now we have JP on the attack, trying to find a weak spot in the St. David's defense. St. David's not letting up. Great drive by JP's Chimbalalanga. And once again, young man goes to the free throw line. JP looks like they are going to make a living at the free throw line. But if you're going to go to the free throw line, you need to convert. And unfortunately, He does not convert the first one. So everyone needs to understand that the free throw line, if you convert both, you get 2 points. Right? But unfortunately, as we're seeing now, most of the players seem to be going to a free throw line converting 1. But you cannot be exchanging a bucket, which gives you 2 points or 3 points, for one made free throw, which gives you 1 point. You're not going to get back into the game if that's what you continue to do.
Not at all. And you have to be very meticulous with your passes, which they have not been this whole game, Jeppe boys. We have Fihla with a strong take. Great transition offense shown there by St. David's. And Fihla continuing to just score and scorch up Jeppe boys.
Oh, finally, Kearney makes that 3-point shot that he's been looking for. This is a shot that I think should turn things around for Jeppe. Let's hope it gives them a little bit more confidence. And Fihla trying to respond, but to no avail. Jeppe boys with the rebound, and now they have the ball on the offensive side, going inside to their big man, Buzinski. And unfortunately, Buzinski is unable to convert.
It's been a long week, you know, and he's been earning and working very hard, and everyone knows his moves, so he needs to be a little bit paced with his moves. All big men should be, you know?
Yeah. Kimani like showing Buzinski how it should be done.
Showing him 2 different tempos. He went fast at him, but finished off slow. So give a guy something different. Don't let him get too used to your pace of attacking.
Rocha giving the ball up to Buzinski. Oh,
you see? Like
beautiful fake.
Like he did there. He saw that St. David's has got a defense for him. So he went in strong, stopped, pump faked, got the guy in the air, got the foul, which is good because that was on Kimani.
That was on Kimani.
That was on Kimani. So you want Kimani to accumulate as many fouls as possible and then convert just like that on the free throw line.
And Buzinski converts both free throws. Hopefully that gives him a little bit more confidence.
Kelly with securing the ball right there, passing to his teammate. And you want to see St. David's show a little bit more composure here, you know? Kelly has the ball.
Oh, no, that's a terrible shot.
You know?
Like
I said, they need to show composure because right now they've got the lead. They need St. David's to come to them. They don't need to play at a pace that allows St. David's to come back into the game.
Rocha has calmed down this Jeppe boys team, and he's done well to just control the tempo on that side. Oh!
And that is a great isolation play there. They drew a 2 execution, and that's how you finish it, going straight to the rim without even hesitating. And that's how you keep your team in the game.
Yeah, Chibalalanga with 2 nice drives, and Fihla once again trying to respond to that, and unfortunately he misses that basket.
Fihla with the right intention right there. He wants to get his team back into it, but he needs to do it at a rate where he gets a score right now.
Yeah, and unfortunately it feels like every time Jeppe makes a bucket, he just immediately wants to respond.
Yes.
Right. And I agree with you, Tsakane, that it's fine for him to look at responding, but respond through...
In that way that he does on the screen right there.
Exactly.
In the rhythm of the game right there, with your teammates' help. You know, play the game in the structure of your teammates. Don't step outside the team spirit or the team culture, because that's when you allow the other team, you allow Jeppe to get back into the game. You know,
Yeah.
and that's Kimani right there, just ever present under the rims, finding a way to get it done.
And Jeppe boys, Chimbalalanga with that strong drive to the basket.
They felt each other out. Now it's about who executes and who wants it more.
Yeah, and Coach Andile has now found something that works for his team, and he's trying. And there's been a number of fouls that have been coming on the St. David's side. They should be worried about the foul trouble in the third quarter, even though we're 1 minute away. And unfortunately, Chimbalalanga
right there should have just gone up straight. Don't be scared of the block. Gone up straight and converted that.
Oh, Buzinski with a beautiful steal there. And then we have Kearney with the ball. Kearney, I think, is the shooter on that team because he is not afraid to put it up.
Kearney is the confidence shooter on that team. He lets that thing fly because he believes it's going to go in. And that's the spirit of a shooter. Your next shot is going in.
This man, Chibalalanga, knows how to attract fouls.
but he needs to be able to convert in the paint. Attract the foul, but convert. Don't be scared. Don't be shy to score. Allow your team, because what Adam said, don't be scared to succeed, because some of these guys are so scared at playing. It's the quarterfinals that they're not in the moment. It's fear. You're in the quarterfinals. You've got in here because you've earned it. It's not a time to be scared. It's time to step up and put your team forward.
And St. David's once again in foul trouble. Chibalalanga going back to the free throw line. JP Boys has been living at the free throw line. They've literally just made a living at that free throw line. We need them to convert a little bit more in order to see a great fourth quarter. And now we have a stoppage in the play as we wait for
wetness on the floor, removing the sweat of the guys on the floor, because we don't want anyone to slip, get injured. We do have an emergency team waiting here, but prevention is better than cure.
Yeah, we actually prefer to see them just lazing about on the side, because that means that we have no injuries.
No injuries. The guys are playing hard. Everything is going well.
Yeah, and beautiful conversion there by Chibalalanga.
I like that. Kelly, active hands, loses the rebound, but goes and secures it and steals it from Jeppy Boys.
And let's see if St. David's can make one basket before this quarter ends. Kalama.
With the fast break. He needed to convert that. That would have given his team a nice entry. And Davids is up 29. Jeppy Boys is down 24. It's a 4-point game. Whoever wins this quarter goes to the next round.
And let's see if St. David's will start this quarter the same way they started the third.
And that's what you want to see from Fihla right there. Him not forcing the shot, driving, drawing the defense, kicking it out to Kelly. Kelly then going up strong. Hopefully he converts on the line, but he should have finished that on the first go-around.
Yeah, Kelly, unfortunately, he pumped that ball. For a big guy like that, I do not like to see big guys pumping the ball. They just need to go up strong.
Big guys don't pump. Big guys go through people, Power. It's your power game. You're a power forward for a reason.
And unfortunately, Kelly comes off the line with no points at all. And big man running the fast break there on the JP side. Buyinski. And now,
look at that positioning.
That is terrible pass there by Rocha.
Kelly with amazing, post defense, positioning himself in the right place, keeping his defender guessing as to where he's going to be.
I like that Chimbalala driving once again to the basket.
Too easy.
And then converting that basket.
He might as well have had a security detail, because he was just escorted down the lane and felt very safe. St. David's needs to pick up the defense.
Yeah, this man has been quite aggressive in the second half. I think in the third quarter he probably had 4 or 5 drives to the basket. And there Kimani once again showing that he is the king of the post.
All day, just so smooth, getting it done effortlessly, Kimani.
And Chimbalala again. Chimbalala looking for that drive once again. So if Chimbalala does not get to the bucket, he gets fouled.
Chimbalala has been doing that play all day. He gets screened at the top and then goes straight down the middle of the lane. St. David's has not realized how he's doing this, but he's just staying aggressive.
Unfortunately, Chimbalala slips on the wet floor.
We don't know whether it was wet or not, So we know Chimbalala slipped. And
Chimbalala has received a technical foul. Well, actually, my apologies. It looks like it's the coach, the JP Boys coach, Andile, who's just received a technical foul. Now we wait to see who from St. David's is going. It's Fihla to take the shot.
So Coach Andile was frustrated that Chimbalala got tripped because he slipped on the floor. As you can see, the referees are now calling the people to wipe down the floor. And in his outrage, receive a technical foul, which is why we now have Fihla shooting the free throws, the one shot, and then receiving the ball back for St. David's.
And unfortunately, St. David's continues to miss their free throws, and they might end up ruining those missed free throws at the end of this game. As we sit here, we've got 5 and a half minutes left in this game. It's a 4-point game with St. David's up 31-27, and it looks like Fihila's.
There was the technical foul. He only shot one free throw.
Okay,
he was supposed to shoot 3. There was miscommunication between the refs. They fixed that, and now St. David's gets the ball back. As you can see, Coach Andile has now changed up the defense. They go into a full court man to increase the pressure on St. David's.
And unfortunately, that full court press was quite unsuccessful. But JP Boys with the ball once again. It's that man, Chimbalala, getting fouled.
Chimbalala getting fouled. The referee saying that it's a flagrant, unsportsmanlike foul, insisting that he went for the body and not the ball, because that's the only time you get a flagrant foul, unsportsmanlike foul. So he will get his free throws, and then JP Boys will then get the ball back as well after this.
Oh, I actually thought he called a common foul. I think it was
a common foul. I just saw him grab at his wrist, indicating that it was an unsportsmanlike. And that's just how we played. Now back to action. Chimbalala with the play right there, and one. He needs to convert those, Lebaka. He's had so many opportunities to have and ones, which is an equivalent of having a 3-point play. He could have had 3 or 4 of those points, and that could have been an easy 4-point play.
This game could have been tied, or JP could have been in the lead if he had just converted a few of those.
Yes.
And unfortunately, misses his first free throw.
No. Because had he made that, there would have been 30. And then that free throw would have been 31. It would have been a one-point game. So he needs to be very cognizant as to how he's finishing around the rim. Andile Coach Andile from JP Boys has now.
As he continues with his full court press. It's a bit of a weak full court press.
It's not.
Very nice steal by Rocha. And Rocha gets fouled as JP Boys inbounding the ball. Rocha trying to set up a play for the JP Boys.
And they go to Chimbalala on the
and the bigs, they go to Buyinski. And Buyinski finally makes a bucket. And a very crucial bucket at that.
Yeah, 3 minutes, 28 seconds left in the game. JP Boys 31, St. David's 32. And Kimani with the ball and doing what he hoped to be doing the whole game, but misses the shot. But he stays in the paint, gets the rebound, misses again. You know, they need to convert that. Fihla with the ball. And let's see if St. David's is able to convert on this.
Oh, Kimani probably upset it. Oh, that is a beautiful 3-point shot there by Muwenge. That is so needed, that 3-point shot.
That is what we call a momentum play right there. Takes momentum right off JP Boys, unless they can answer with this.
Chambalala with his own shot. Unfortunately, he misses that. And St. David's with the ball. Strong take there by... Oh,
Paranyeta with the strong take, took it all the way. Was not intimidated by a big guy on him. And that's how you get your team into it. Look at that, Paranyeta with a little shove off, got away with it, ref didn't see it. But he's able to convert. Look at the elation from his teammates, the energy. Now everybody's getting involved. That's the energy you want to see.
Stretch the lead up to 6 points. Let's see if they can. Unfortunately, their woefulness at the free throw line continues. And St. David's in foul trouble. So for the next 2 minutes, every time they foul, JP Boys, the JP players are going to go to the free throw line.
That is number 10, Paranyetwa. He's fouled out of the game. With 5 fouls, he will not be returning to the game. You know, and that's what you want to see at this point. This game is intense. Play hard, leave it all on the floor. That young man did. He played hard. He put his team in a position to win, and now they need to carry him and make sure he's in the semifinals.
And Chambalala converts both buckets to close the gap to 4 points. Unfortunately, the transition defense from JP still very poor. They can't afford to have such... Kearney with another one of those shots. Every time he goes up, that ball looks like it's going to go in.
Yeah.
Nice defensive play by Chambalala. Unfortunately, St. David's able to get the ball back. And Kimani with an offensive foul.
Kimani should have made the easy play, not the hard play. The easy play was passing the ball to Reed, and now they're back on defense, and the pressure is on St. David's to perform.
Strong take there by Buzinski, taking him back to the free throw line. He's a very decent free throw shooter, so you hope that he converts both.
Kimani out of the game with 5 fouls, but being replaced by the capable Kelly. But what they lose with Kimani is a impulsive, instant offense scoring guy who reads the game. But Kelly is just a beast on the boards. He goes and gets the ball.
Buzinski needed to make that.
Yes.
They need all the free throws they can get to keep themselves in this particular game. Unfortunately, Buzinski misses both free throws. Once again, St. David's on the attack. And another careless pass.
A minute and 15 seconds left in the game. Jeppe Boys 33, St. David's 39.
Chambalala. Chambalala is a foul magnet.
Yes. And at this point of the game stops because what? The lead is not over 20 points, it's below that. So it's going to be stop-start for the last 2 minutes. And on the clock, we have a minute and 6 seconds left. And if you are Jeppe Boys, you get the ball and you run it down the paint every time, because St. David's is going to foul you. They're in foul trouble. You get to go to the free throw twice. But it's pointless going to the free throw line if you're going to be pointless
at the free throw
line.
Very, very true. It's like a very poetic.
Thank you, Lawaka. Thank you. You see, that's what you need to do. Convert every time.
Unfortunately, the team that seems to be running is the St. David's team. And that is a foul that is a little bit unnecessary from the Jeppe Boys. He did not need to foul him.
He does need to foul him because they want to stop the clock, get the ball, allow them to shoot. So they need to foul them and accumulate the fouls so that they can go miss the free throws, and then as Jeppe get possession of the ball and try to score again.
Yeah, the only reason I felt they didn't need to foul them is because the 8 seconds, they were under threat of an 8-second violation. So he just needed to stay in front of him and not foul the man.
But that speaks to situational awareness. They need to know that there's 8 seconds left. The ref needs to count that out. Everyone needs to know that how many seconds are left for them to get a violation.
We have 50 seconds left on the clock. Jeppe Boys have taken St. David's back to the free throw line. St. David's has not converted a free throw in a very long time. But that man Kelly understands the moment, and he's living up to the moment. Kelly able to convert 1 of 2, but St. David's also able to grab the rebound. Buzinski with a beautiful steal and then a very acrobatic. Very nice play there by Kalama. Kalama basically saying that he wants to continue playing. He wants to stay in this tournament.
Kalama embracing the moment and being very aggressive. That's what you want to see in the last seconds of a game.
Kalama unable to convert at the free throw line. Buzinski with the shot. St. David's able to. St. David once again
being look at that save right there, which leads to Kalama going all the way down and converting that and getting an N1 basket. Beautiful finish right there on the screen. Beautiful finish. That's what you want to see in the last moments of a game.
As we watch Jeppe frantically trying to get a point to make sure that they stay in this game. Where was all this rebounding throughout the game? Unfortunately, JP coming away with absolutely 0 points.
For a second there, I thought we were watching rugby because that was a full-on body tackle. But,
it's desperation from JP boys. And
desperation, urgency. But, I mean, I beg the question, where was all this rebounding and aggression from JP? Had they come out with this rebounding and aggression, they would not be in the situation with 5 seconds left in the game.
That man Kelly back at the free throw line. Kelly, the junkyard dog, does all the intangibles.
The rebounds, the boxing out, the screens, dives for loose balls. If there's a guy that you need on your team, it's that young man, number 14 from St. David's, Kelly. Just everywhere where he needs to be with the effort that you need him to be there with to make the play happen.
And padding the stats there for St. David's, especially the free throw stats for St. David's.
Look at that. Like I said, everywhere where he needs to be, when he needs to be there to make a play happen. That is Kelly, like you say, the junkyard dog, the guy who's aware what's happening in the paint, Keep your eye on your man, but even better, keep a body on him or else he'll make something happen. Box him out, very strong young man, that is.
Back at the free throw line, converted his first free throw. And unfortunately, couldn't convert his second. But that is the end of the game, with St. David's going through to the semi-finals.
Used to get themselves into the game. So those are all missed opportunities. Those are all free throws they should have shot. They went 15 for 27. This game for them could have been secured on the free throw line. Like I said, it was their game to lose.
All right, and those stats are supplied by iSports analysts and the analysts. Thank you very much to iSports analysts for giving us these great stats.